Jamaica against Nigeria. As we know, it'll be the 21-year anniversary of the last edition back in 2004 with Jamaica and Nigeria. This will be the 7th meeting between both teams and the 4th time in London, so it just goes to show how massive a sort of fixture this is. Let me introduce the persons that we have at our head table. We're joined by the captain of the Reggae Boys for the Unity Cup, Amari Bell. Of course, many of you would remember him from Birmingham City, Fleetwood Town, Blackburn Rovers, and most recently, Luton Town. And of course, the manager of the Jamaica Senior Men's National Team, Coach Steve McLaren. So to commence proceedings, we kindly ask you to raise your hand, and once you're indicated, then you can pose your question, whether it is to Coach McLaren or to Captain Amari Bell. So who would like to start this afternoon? We can commence proceedings.
I guess I'll start.
All right. Gary, you want to start?
Sure. Amari, congrats on being named captain for Unity Cup. How's it going? How's the first week as captain and basically leading the ship?
Yeah, it's been great. Obviously, it's a huge honour to captain your country, and it's something dreams are made of. So I'm embracing the opportunity. I think me and the boys just enjoying the time here. To play overseas, but feel like you're back home too. It's been great.
Yeah, and after the first game, how's the guys feeling? Are you guys more upbeat going into the second game than you were the first game? What is the vibe like right now?
No, the vibe here is always good. For the first game, it was great. I think it's just gonna be the same for the second game. Everybody's in high spirits, and we just want to win both games.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Yes, go ahead.
This one's for Mr. McLaren. Joanne Quattro's Bench Free Sport TV. Mr. McLaren, first and foremost, I love the proud Jamaican. Thank you for beating Trinidad and Tobago. Give us the bragging rights over our Tobago friends and family. How would winning the Unity Cup mean for both Jamaica and yourself tomorrow against Nigeria?
Yeah, we said from the very beginning, I can't remember who we were playing. I think we had Trinidad with the local camp. And we said, you're playing for Jamaica, there's no friendlies. You've got to win every game, because that's what the fans demand, that's what we demand, and that's what the players demand, that's why they play, the competition. So, I don't know about Amari or myself, but, we've never probably played in friendlies. You always want to win. Puts you in a better mood. So we want to win tomorrow, obviously. Of course we do. We in good spirits, as Amari said. I think we've kind of built that over the week. We're a little bit quiet at the beginning. Only one day to prepare, and I was a little sceptical what we would do, but I was pleased with especially first half performance. We brought in 2 or 3 players now, so we have a full complement, which is always an advantage. Another one coming in this afternoon, so it would have been ideal to get them in at the beginning, but by the end we got there with 23 players, we do want to win.
All right, go ahead.
Hi Steve, my name is Nathan Kwa from Sporty FM in Accra. You watched the Nigerians take on the Black Stars. They won 2-1. What did you make of them, and what's your plan to take them down on Saturday?
What I liked about the game was, all the staff obviously wanted to see the game, but I think we had 16, 17 players. I think we only had 17 players anyway, so I think all the players as well wanted to come to the game. So. That's a huge testament to the players and what Jamaica means to them, and also they want to see the opponent, what they're playing tomorrow. So I enjoyed the game. I think it was a game of 2 halves, but both teams were strong. Nigeria, the winners obviously, were very strong, got Premier League players, good players, very well organised, very athletic, very strong. And what I liked was the spirit that they showed. They were together, and they fought together and played well together. So this is going to be a huge test for our players, a huge test, but one I'm looking forward to seeing, because the players that we've got in the squad some are established, like Amari, and have been established for quite a few years. But we've got quite a few who we're looking at. So if we can come out of the Unity Cup, 2 games, great experience for the Jamaican players coming here, great experience for the UK players with their families and their kids who've never seen them playing live in a Jamaican shirt. It must be, Amari will probably tell you what it feels like, but you know, everybody's so proud to represent Jamaica in the UK, in London. And we don't want to let anybody down tomorrow. We want a good performance. And as usual, fight together.
Yeah, just before we take the next question, Belly experience of playing again for Jamaica on the island, in America in the Gold Cup, but to play in England as well, seeing the support, just your thoughts on how Tuesday night unfolded.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. I think I touched on it before. It felt like I was playing back on the island. So the support was crazy. I feel like for the UK based players, we gained a huge sense of pride, and the atmosphere was amazing. So yeah, it was really enjoyed it, and obviously we look forward to tomorrow as well.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, this is for Coach McLaren. I am Shino Ludari. I write for flashcore.com, and I'm a very, very big fan of your work. And my question is, how does this match fit into your longer-term vision for the Jamaican national team?
I think, as I said, I think we're here because of the UK-based people who live here, 500,000 in London and over 2 million around the UK. We came here for them, not as an exhibition, but to show what Jamaican football is all about. So we've experienced that. We like that. We've brought a mixed squad of experience and young players and players who we've been following for quite a while and trying to recruit. Burrell being, an ideal candidate for that, to give them an opportunity. And we're going forward to the goal, which is World Cup qualification, and we've got that next week. And we want 1 or 2, hopefully 3, who can become permanent members of the squad and give us extra energy that we need. So it's an ideal opportunity for the established ones to keep their fitness, and there's quite a few who've got an opportunity that we're seeing for the first time. They need to take it and get involved with us going all the way through.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi Steve, Amari, Nishal Shvago from Olympics.com. I want to ask a bit about the pressure and expectations from the semi-final to the final, because of course you had the game on Tuesday night, the first game in tough conditions, playing in front of a home fans for the first time in this tournament. How does it change with the pressure going into the final now? Does he feel more confidence? Does it feel like there's less pressure going into that from both a player's perspective and a managerial perspective?
Yeah, I think obviously when you win games, you always gain confidence. I think obviously we put pressure on ourselves anyway to firstly win the first game and win the second game. So I don't think there's any difference in pressure in that sense, because we want to win. And obviously our supporters expect us to deliver a good performance and win as well. So I think, as long as we're focused and we do what we know we can, then we put ourselves in a real good position to win both games.
Yeah, I think 2 games for me. We're experiencing 2 games which will be very different. The Trinidad we know Trinidad. We played them twice in January, and they're from the Caribbean, so we know that. And now this will be a different test against the Africans. And if we want to go forward and if we want to qualify for World Cups, this experience will prove invaluable towards that. So, we never forget where the goal is, and along the way we're milestones, gaining experience and trying to get better.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, this is Steve. My name is Eli Kondo from Ghana. I want to find out, what have you identified about this Nigerian team that you think would be of benefit to your team playing against them tomorrow?
Yeah, obviously coming to watch. And the nice thing I liked, as I said before, was all the players coming as well. So, you know, we're going to review the game, talk about the strengths and weaknesses of Nigeria, but, you know, I spoke to one or two players already and what they think, and it's great that they see it and they know what to expect. So a little bit of information about them, but they know enough now, and they know that this will be a tough game. It will be a different game because I think you know, we saw in Nigeria they were, you know, they were strong, they were quick, they were fit, and they're players who have played in top clubs around Europe and the Premier League. So, you know, our players, we haven't got many in the squad who have done that. So it's a great experience for them.
Hi, Ibrahim from Black Things UK. How do you prepare the players mentally for a game that has such cultural weight? So it's both for Steve and Mari.
I think you know, with players, you have to kind of drive yourself mentally. You have to get yourself right, and obviously we kind of use each other as well. So obviously, you know, it's a team, and we have to feed off each other and pick each other up when we need to. And obviously, as the more experienced ones, kind of use our knowledge to help the less experienced ones.
Hi, a question for the captain and for coach. Coach first. You were stating there's no friendlies. I mean, the performance of Jamaica against Trinidad was excellent. You know, a lot of flair, a lot of energy. How do you think the crowd kind of fared with that? And also, as you said, a tournament like this, it's not necessarily friendly. How does it prepare your team for your World Cup bid?
They should not just, you know, for the likes of Amari, who's experienced and used to this, but some of the young players that we've got coming through, the likes of Burrell, who have not experienced this before, and also the players from Jamaica. We've, I think, 9 or 10 now in the squad, and that's half the squad, experience in the UK, and what football is really all about. What I loved about the other night was the atmosphere, and you know, we went 2-0 up, and we should have had more, but all of a sudden they come back to 2-2, and amazing, the crowd really stayed with the players. You know, there was no disappointment or anything, and I think that's why in the end we managed to get the winning goal, because the crowd drove us on. It wasn't a carnival atmosphere, it wasn't that, it was what they call a true Jamaican atmosphere, in which everyone just smiles, wants to be proud of the team, and obviously wants to win, because that makes your night.
Yeah. Sorry, so for the captain now, how was it playing in front of such a crowd at home in the UK with a big community?
Yeah, it was amazing. Obviously for me personally as well. I didn't. Some family members there who had never seen me play for the national team, so you know, it was a great achievement in that sense. So yeah, obviously looking forward to the next game on Saturday. And yeah, it's going to be amazing. I think, you know, like Coach said, the crowd are really with us right until the end, and you know, maybe that helps us to get the third goal. And it was just, you know, that's what football is about. Just never giving up and keeping going right until the end. And yeah, to celebrate with them afterwards, it was great.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Afternoon, Coach, Captain. Mark Wilkins from the BBC World Service. I'm Ghanaian, so it hurts me saying this, but Nigeria and Jamaica are cultural leaders when it comes to music, entertainment. So I wanted to know, because there's stars from Jamaica such as global artist Popcorn, he was around, Spice was wanted to attend to this as well. Are you aware of the responsibility in terms of the expectations that's on the Reggae Boys' head to meet this, as well, well, when I say meet this, they're already at the top in terms of culture. So with football, it's the nation's most passionate sport. So are you aware of this? And if so, how are you kind of like dealing with this responsibility to deliver for the nation?
Yeah, it's been a learning process, I've got to say, and you know, Amari will probably say the same thing. I mean, but being in the team a lot more, it's very different coming from the UK to Jamaica, and you have to embrace that and you have to adapt to that. And you may have your ways, but you have to adapt and change. And we're now, in the Jamaican way, and that's what I love when the UK players come over. That the experience of meeting each other, the energy in the room, that's the real strength of Jamaica. For me, on the island, is the energy that everybody transmits, and that can be positive energy, negative energy, doesn't matter. There's just passion, which is there. And I think the other thing, it's great for the UK players, for their families, one, to see that, every month or 7 times in the year, they disappear for 10 days, and they wonder, what are they doing for 10 days? Why are they traveling 10 hours to a small island and playing in the Caribbean? And so they would have seen that, not just playing in a Jamaican shirt, but also surrounded by people. My family mentioned it, that the atmosphere was totally different than any football match they've been to in the UK. So for everybody to experience that, we understand, and I'm getting to understand and adapting to the culture, to what it means to the people of Jamaica, not just on the island, but around the world. And we want to deliver something special. And we hope to do that, and we hope to do that together.
If I can just follow up, with regards to the Jamaican way that you referred to, you've been in the spotlight when it comes down to pronunciations and accents with your time at FC20. I just wanted to ask you have you familiarised yourself with patois in any way?
No, I think seal it up is the only patois I know at the present moment.
Just one more. Just
I
about
can take one more. But go ahead. Yeah.
just about how you're preparing with the team now for the Nations League, and how important the Nations League has been for Caribbean
The
football.
World Cup qualifiers is next, and then the World Cup.
and then it's, yeah.
Yeah,
But
no,
also the Nations League.
Nations League not until 2026.
I know, but I'm trying.
Too far away.
I know that, but what I'm trying to say is how important, from your opinion, is the Nations League to develop Caribbean football, to have, teams like this and get them to play maybe 6 or 7 times a year.
Yeah, as many times you can play together, you've got to do that. And that's why this tournament's been very good. We haven't had all our best players here and a full contingent of the squad. That will be next week. Next week is massive for us. The Gold Cup is going to be a great experience. We want to do well in that. And then hopefully we've qualified for the group stage. And the group stage becomes very important, where we've got 3 camps. We need to deliver results. And we've got a good opportunity to qualify for the World Cup 26.
Last one.
Sorry guys, final question please. Final question. Nigerians are waiting and they have to do something.
Last one.
Sorry.
Last one.
Yeah, for Steve, we spoke a bit about it at the start of the press conference about appointing Amari captain. Apart from the leadership traits, can you tell me what else makes him such a good captain for the national team?
I think as a captain, there's many captains, and I've had many different captains, but they've got to have the respect of the teammates, all of them. It's no good having half the dressing room respecting him and half going, well, I'm not too sure about him. And that's what he's got. He's got the full dressing room. He's played in the Premier League. He's certain stature. Yeah. Amari's one of them that I always say, 7 out of 10 every week. 7 out of 10 every week. You don't have to hit the heights of 9 out of 10. You don't have to go below the heights of 4 out of 10. 7 out of 10. That consistency breeds respect from everybody else. The way he applies himself in training and in games. People have to follow that. And when I look at what does an ideal footballer do, make the most of their talent, work damn hard to get to the top of that talent, the best that they can possibly be. And Amari has done that. And that's got to rub off, and that's his responsibility also, to make sure that, hey, we don't do it this way. Hey, we do it this way. Hey, we do it that way. Hey, coach wants it this way. And Amari knows me now over 8 months, that he knows what I want, and he can deliver that to the players.
Thank you very much, everybody.
very much.
See you all tomorrow.